this was a little bit of an afterthought to record this, but Chris just got there in the nick of time to record the ending of this video, and it is always nice to share the numbers straight up from the beginning. So you can see we bid 9,000, went to bonus time. Who don't love a bit of bonus time? I don't. It's very, very annoying. I have no idea why they do it, and it is quite frustrating. So one more bonus time there.
Sold!
And let's have it. Let's get that one delivered to the yard. So here it is. Unfortunately, they've got to take a car off here because our BMW's on top. They get that car off and then we'll lower down the BMW. Now the car is a run and drive car, so I should be able to just, by rights, drive it straight off the back of the lorry. But quickly we realised that was not going to happen, and there was a bit of an issue with this one. The things we do to move cars.
Say again?
The things we do to move cars.
Yeah.
I can't wait to explain why we're doing this.
There.
Yep. We should be driving this car in here because it runs and drives, apparently. I'm going to go left a little bit to give us a bit of room round there.
Yeah.
I've got my wheel straight now, so it's on you to get it in there straight. I've got my wheel straight, so it's on you to get it in there straight.
Right. This was meant to be a run and drive.
That's what I just said.
Oh, did ya?
And in a minute we'll explain exactly why it ain't, and it's not good. If you're happy with that, I'm happy with that. Yeah. I'll let you get your machine straight out of the way and then we'll crack on. Righto. What a beautiful car. Let's take a look. Now, anyone that tells you the salvage industry is easy is talking nonsense, and here is an absolute prime example. You've seen the previous little bit of video that Chris filmed, and we paid a lot of money for this car on the understanding that it was a run and drive, not focusing on the damage. Let's have a little look round it. We're going to start with that dig in the door.
Yep.
Guess who done that? I did.
Yeah.
I did last night in the dark, unloading this car because I could not get the handbrake off, could not get it out of gear because it doesn't run and drive, Chris.
Frustrating.
And as he was pulling me, I opened the door and it chinned
Frustrating, isn't it?
Very, very frustrating. And in a moment,
you'll try and keep me distance from you, Rob, because I'm full of
in a moment,
cold.
You'll be mortified at what me and Chris have found this morning. Having a walk around this, Chris, what you spotted this and said, look at that, what a beautiful car.
Nice car.
You love an estate car anyway. It's a van with windows, you call it.
Yep.
And this one is a beautiful example of that. Really nice model, really nice spec, all fully loaded inside, but going round to the bit of damage.
Yeah.
We ain't had a rear end for a long time.
No. And what I like about the rear end is, as a rule, there's no real big ticket items to buy to repair it.
No.
As people will have seen with that Q5 video, we spent a lot of money on parts.
Yeah.
Yes, a tailgate and glass is not going to be cheap for this, or a bumper, but you haven't got loads of parts to buy, have you?
No.
So theoretically, you look at it on paper and you think, oh, that would be quite a reasonable repair and should be profitable. But then obviously the reality is you get the car home and it's not as described.
No. So two-stage electric tailgate, like you said. I've started looking them up. They're around 500 quid. The car has had a proper thump up the back.
Yep.
And we have already cleared out a lot of stuff out of this car.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a choice. I needed to get this
We
off a
should say
lorry.
The bumper was fitted.
The bumper was clipped back on.
The crash bar had been removed, and we've put that back on there to help us move it. But
it was full up with junk.
It was. You couldn't see the extent of the damage, to be fair, could you, from the photos?
No.
So you kind of half buying it blind, but you know what to expect.
Yeah. So we basically this is the glass section of the tailgate, and we've actually lifted it up, bungee strapped it, just to plug it all in, because we can't get this car to do anything apart from the lights come on, the ignition comes on momentarily, and then instantly turns out. So we have started clearing this car out this morning, and you can see the insurance company has removed a substantial amount of stuff from this car. And I don't want to be guilty of waffling on here, but you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs, and we need to explain the situation with this car. Chris, would you like to do the honours?
Yeah.
After this morning, obviously we're coming in and it's light. This is what we have found. It has been absolutely...
Rodents have attacked it.
They have actually eaten through the leather seat and chewed everything. It is a disgrace in here. And I would go as far as to say all of that there, that shiny on that seat, is actually rat urine.
Possibly, isn't it?
So, I mean, we need to... We stopped. As soon as we see it, we stopped. We need to put a hazmat suit on and a mask to get that cleared out. I know a lot of you are going to say, ring Copart, return the car, but, you know, that's a world of pain in itself. Would you like to hold this camera just so I can... So you can see I've even tried having the OBD in it. But if you just shine that in here, Chris.
Yep.
All right, the key's in here. As soon as I put my foot on the brake and push the button,
Yep.
that's all it does. Momentarily comes on and goes off. But of course you have got that override for the ignition. So 1, 2, 3, and it does bring your ignition on, which we was able to get the steering lock off. But it will not release that handbrake.
Hence why we've lifted the back up.
We have lifted the back up. Now we've checked in the back for tube wires.
Can't see anything, can
And
we?
we're assuming it's all underneath there, isn't it?
Probably.
Because it just won't do anything.
We're going to have to pop the bonnet and see what's... if
Let's have a little
anything's
look under there,
been
Chris.
nibbled under there.
See if anything's obvious while we're still rolling. But I guess we need to get the rest of that stuff out the back. Get a bit of... Let's have a little... We've seen them Range Rovers down there with all foam on the top of these, haven't we?
Yeah.
Nothing looks obvious there, does
No,
it?
nothing jumping out, is there? But
I guess let's get it cleared out,
gonna have to,
and then
aren't
let's try and get this car running, because it's a dead weight.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, mate.
So straight in, now I've managed to get the ignition on with the diagnostic machine. Let's just do a search and see what it comes up with. I know that you can't see it from where I'm angled there, but I'm talking it through with Chris, just saying what's come up, and there is so many faults. And while I'm doing that, he's going around just checking that there is, all the wires are tight, like at the front, the jump points, make sure that they're all done up and nobody's been tampering with it. Make sure that the earth and the live's correct in the boot, because I have fully charged this battery. Let's just make sure everything's okay while we're doing a scan. Of course we checked it out using Car Vertical, and guys, check this out. So BMW 3 Series 2020, odometer looks good, financial and legal status looks good, and damage needs attention. We know it does. We know that we've bought a Category S car, but of course we always do check it out with Car Vertical in case there is any other little hidden issues, or it's a re-entry into Copart, somebody's bought it and dressed it up. You have to check every angle. But when we do go to the damage section on this one, you can actually see there Category S, structural damage but repairable. But the interesting thing there is the actual date, 0824. And this car, I'm going to show you after this Car Vertical, was actually listed as run and drives, and they have a picture of this engine, well, the clocks on this car, and it is running. So in just 2 months since this car has been dropped off to Copart, it has now become a non-runner, because all of the pictures on the Copart auction are taken the day the car enters. And of course, now 2 months later, it doesn't go. Of course, on this check, you've got theft, you've got your odometer, and the only one that's going to be on there is probably your MOT. And it would have had maybe 1, possibly 2 MOTs by now. You've got your financial and legal status, your damage that we just did, natural disasters, emissions, taxes, specs, and of course, timeline. 4 records found, manufacture date, registration date, that's the MOT there, the first one, and of course your written off date. I want to thank Car Vertical for the continued support on the channel. To benefit from a nice little discount off your must-do check, use the code up on screen now from any browser, or hit the link in the description where it will automatically apply your discount. Sometimes this the mystery is exciting, but it's just crazy. Chris is going through all of the wiring. You would have seen I've done a complete code scan inside. The car's got in excess of 40 faults, and I cannot clear any of them. They will not clear down. Now I think he's just making sure that we've got everything plugged in that needs to be plugged in. But there was actually, I mean, this was down as a run and drive, and it probably was until it got to Copart, but I've jacked it right up in the air now. I've got an axle stand under it there, an axle stand under it there, and I've put a piece of cardboard. I had to mention them because people think sometimes in videos you can't see them, and they think that we'd actually get underneath a car without axle stands, and I can assure you we won't. Anyway, it's all covered in under trays under there. There's not a great deal you can see, but if them rodents have got in there and chewed anything, then we need to get in there and actually find those broken wires. So I'm going to get underneath there and actually have all of those under trays on, and you can see Chris has even, I mean, all of these fans come up as a fault. So he's just going through seeing if there's any tube wires there. We've pulled a load of covers off. We can't see any tube wires. Here's the main harness coming into the car. Again, can't see anything tubed there. And I have actually, this handle's broken. I've actually pulled all the covers off there and checked the wiring. And of course, there's no damage there either. So, not sure what's stopping it, but there's a chewed or broken wire somewhere on this car preventing it from starting, and of course preventing that ignition from working. Let's just continue on. And no further forward with it, I need to get these trays off. So, loads and loads of 10 mils out with the first one. Loads and loads more 10 mils out with the second one. A load more 10 mils and out with the third one through the side. And I'm going to run around, grab Chris's meter and just check that we've got power there, going down to the start motor, and just keep going through. You can see when I'm not in the boot, Chris is, and vice versa. When I'm round at the back, he's round at the front, and we are both scratching our heads here trying to work out what is going on with this car. Underneath, I removed all of the trays, so there's 3 separate trays underneath there, and then of course that great big one that goes underneath. And I've checked, and there doesn't appear to be any damaged wiring under there whatsoever. Moving round to the back, Chris has been inside with a diagnostic machine. In fact, I think we've both been inside with a diagnostic machine, having a play, and he's coming up with the same fault.
Yeah, and we cleared the faults a couple of times. 39 faults have come back this time. And it's saying LIN, the power distribution box, actuator wire terminal 30B, line disconnection. Well, with the help of Google, I've identified this as the LIN power distribution box. But we've just done something a bit cheeky, haven't we?
We have.
We've robbed that one.
What we shouldn't do is we've borrowed it out of that car.
Got an identical LIN box. So we've taken it out of that, plugged it in this, made no difference whatsoever, and cleared the fault and re-scanned it, and the same fault has come back. But also reading a lot of these other 39 faults, Rob, they mention LIN, no LIN slave, no LIN, I really don't know what this means, missing LIN component, and it's on things like the seats, the interior light, the mirror, radiator blind, LIN bus.
The thing is,
so
is it worth me mentioning that we're starting to get a bit worried here that this may have been reverse polarity like the Bentley?
We found although we found that evidence of rodents, we found no wires eating, have we, anywhere on we've been right over the
Well,
car.
that's basically down to a ruined seat. That's it at the moment.
So yeah, we're thinking.
When I googled that Fuse 39, it is throwing up something about the pyro.
You mean 30B,
30B.
terminal 30B.
But
30B is just alive.
Right, but you've checked every single.
Yeah,
you
I've
see
had the
it's got
meter. We've
You've
got
checked everything. It's all fine.
We're getting power to every point, and I've checked because that LIN plugs into that fuse box there. So I've been on there. I don't know if I can unclip. I don't want to get too close to you.
No.
But I've checked the voltage there, and we've got the same voltage there that we've got at the battery. So we've definitely got power going to that. I've checked all those fuses in that fuse box as well. I've had each fuse out. So,
but we're no further in.
but we know that LIN box is fine.
Yeah.
But
someone please help.
we're getting like that, aren't we?
I'm
I don't
going to have
know.
to make a call in a minute and speak to the auto electrician, see if he can help us out with this, because we've literally been on this a good couple of hours now, and we seem to be going around in circles a little bit. We can only check what we know to check.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit above our pay grade, isn't it, Rob, all this stuff, really.
I'm going to put this back together because we've established that this is not faulty, and then I guess we'll just carry on, mate, having a little bit of research, seeing what we can do.
Yep, okay.
So into the back again, and I have actually decided, after we've checked all this and got nowhere, I'm going back up in the air. I'm going to make sure that the gearbox is in park, and then I'm going to remove the ECU from under the bonnet, and actually you'll see me down here in a minute taking the screws out of the ECU. We're going to get it in the workshop, take it apart, have a look and see if there is an issue inside that ECU, i.e. is it burnt out. This is not something you're ever going to really hear coming from us, and you're not going to hear it coming lightly from us today. We're beat.
We are today, yeah. Hopefully someone might be able to give us a bit of point us in the right direction, Rob.
Chris is feeling awful, but of course we have still been really cracking on with it, and we have literally tried everything. I've tried bypassing that pyro. I've been round and done everything. Chris has had that fuse box out. He's checked it inside out, and you would have seen just sat down here, I actually had the ECU out and took all the bolts out of it. Chris took it into the workshop and opened it up, had to cut round some glue, and when an ECU's gone, we instantly
Just
know.
looking for evidence of anything,
We instantly know, like that Bentley one, as soon as you opened it, it was like, the smell was awful, wasn't it? Toxic electrical smell, and that looks like brand new in there. So we've plugged it all back in, and like I say, we are just no further with it. I think it's going to come down to a broken or eaten wire somewhere.
Or a combination of things.
Yeah.
We have both remarked out. There's no display telling you what gear it's in, whether it's in park, neutral. So. And
it keeps coming up on there the transmission fault, drivetrain
fault, but that could be a multitude of things possibly. But it does. We've got the different scanner on there. We've got that Think one on there, and that's come up the same fault. Well, it's come up with a lot of faults, but that first one is that LIN.
Yeah.
And then when you read those other faults, there's a lot of them mention that LIN. So I think it's an issue there somewhere. Clearly, there's nothing wrong with that module.
No.
We've swapped it out.
And it didn't make a
difference. For one out of a car that runs. So is it? I mean, the supply to that is checking out with a meter and at 12 volt, but
there's going to be somebody that watches our channel, like always, who's going to be able to help us with this.
I hope so.
They're going to understand that LIN inside and out. We're not going to pretend we do. We've got the latest diagnostic tools. We've got a good fully charged battery. You can see I had it stabilised, and we have been through all of that wiring loom, We've pretty much stripped everything off under the bonnet.
We've got some of the faults coming up are these shutters on the grille.
Yeah.
We've got faults coming up with mirrors, seats, random stuff. So, but a lot of them refer to that LIN. So, not sure, Rob.
Guys, if any of you can help us in the comment section with this one, we would really, really appreciate it, because it's just a weight here now, just a huge paperweight. We don't even want to start work on it and start sourcing the parts, of course, until we've solved the issue with it. I don't think it's going to be anything major serious, do you?
Well, I hope not, Rob,
But we
but
just
we're
don't
missing
know.
something at the moment, aren't we? That's for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Anyway, I'm going to get all this lot tidied up. Now, you guys that know us, you know, we don't give up. Chris is not really feeling himself. We have been out here for a few hours, and I think that's definitely time to call it. And genuinely, we don't really know where we're going next with it. It's always nice to have a sleep on it, of course, and have a think. But what I am really looking forward to is one of you guys knowing the answer to what's wrong with this car in the comment section down below. Don't forget, if you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. We really would appreciate it. And I genuinely will be reading through all of the comment section, seeing if somebody has got a solution to it. I know somebody might know a lot more about it than we do. Unfortunately, again, that is going to be the end of today's video. We've got another cracking new build for you on Sunday, and probably one of the most expensive builds we've done for quite some time. If you want to follow us on all our other socials, the links for them are in the description down below. Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, they're all down there. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share, and we'll look forward to seeing you all very, very soon in the next one.